This video is sponsored by Paperlike. Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and today is another exciting day, and that's because I have the brand new Apple Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro, and it even has a trackpad included. Now you might be watching and thinking, it's just a keyboard with a trackpad, why is it such an exciting product? And that's because it fundamentally changes what we know about the iPad. The iPad has always been a tablet-first experience, and although Apple has kind of played around with mouse support, and with the latest iOS 13.4, you could even add the external trackpad support, this is the first time Apple is shipping a dedicated accessory, not only with a physical keyboard, but with a trackpad attached to it. And this could be a game changer for real-world productivity apps making their way over to the iPad. And if Jon Prosser has anything to say about it, we know that Xcode and Final Cut Pro 10 are in the works for iPadOS. But this is still a very expensive product, coming in at $350 for my 12.9-inch version and $300 for the smaller 11-inch. As you're watching this right now, I actually decided to spend even more time with the Magic Keyboard than I originally thought. I spent all day yesterday using it and this morning as well. So here are my first impressions using this new accessory. Okay, first of all, the hinge. It is stiff, like really stiff. I was almost in disbelief how much effort it took to unfold this thing. But after using the keyboard for a little bit, it was pretty easy to see why Apple went with this design choice. It's because it's holding up a 1.4-pound iPad. And if it didn't have that support, it would literally just tip or fall over. Now, one of the reasons why this hinge design is superior over the Apple Smart Keyboard cover is because you get increased viewing angles. The iPad literally floats above the keyboard, which creates a nice viewing angle when fully unfolded, and you can move this hinge to other angles as well, and it stays still as you push the iPad Pro down, even as it lays flat against the back of the Magic Keyboard. In this hinge itself, you'll also notice there's a USB-C port, and that doesn't transfer data, but it does allow you to charge your iPad Pro. The overall design of this keyboard is just as nice in person as it was when I first saw the online images of it when Apple announced it. I really like the floating iPad design, and there's just something about it that makes me think, wow, that was a smart fix for the viewing angle issue on the Smart Keyboard cover. Furthermore, I really like how easy it is to detach the iPad Pro from the keyboard itself. So when you want to use your iPad as a tablet, you don't have to carry the heavy Magic Keyboard around with you. Speaking of which, when this thing is attached to the Magic Keyboard, it weighs in at 2.95 pounds, making it heavier than Apple's latest MacBook Air, which weighs just 2.8 pounds. And so far with my short experience with this Magic Keyboard, I think that is by far the biggest weakness and why some people still might choose the Smart Keyboard cover. Another thing to note is you can't fold the keyboard back like you can on the Smart Keyboard cover. So again, if you want to use your iPad as a tablet, you have to physically remove it from the Magic Keyboard. Now the keys themselves on the Magic Keyboard are quite different than the soft keys on the Smart Keyboard covers, because these are real hard plastic keys that use a scissor switch mechanism rather than the soft fabric keys that use the butterfly mechanism on the Smart Keyboard cover. And the typing experience is really good. I think that it feels similar to the keyboards found on the new 13-inch MacBook Air and 16-inch MacBook Pro. I've only used this keyboard for a little while though. I still want to use it for a longer period of time before I draw any final conclusions. But so far, I think the typing experience is great, and I definitely prefer it over the old Smart Keyboard cover. A lot of people will also be happy to know that these keys are backlit, which makes them look very nice when typing, and obviously you can look down on your keyboard in the dark to see what you're typing. Now, one thing that hasn't changed from the Smart Keyboard cover is this iPad Pro's Magic Keyboard still does not include a row of function keys, which means no quick shortcuts for changing things like the volume or brightness. Now, honestly, the keyboard part of this maybe isn't even the most exciting part. What I think is really the most exciting part is what's just below it, the trackpad. But before we do that, I want to talk about our sponsor for today's video, Paperlike. Paperlike is the screen protector that makes your iPad's Pro display actually feel like you're writing on paper. Installing Paperlike is super easy to do all by yourself and even comes with a second additional Paperlike screen protector. Once on, Paperlike not only protects your screen, but it also gives a more textured feel that, you guessed it, feels and sounds like paper. Furthermore, Paperlike uses a new nanodot surface technology that shows almost no light diffusion, letting you keep the iPad's great display quality. The nanodot surface also allows for increased control and precision with your Apple Pencil, rather than the default slippery display on the iPad. Paperlike is even great without the Apple Pencil, giving you a more matte finish that reduces fingerprint smudges. Also, Paperlike is available for any iPad, so if you want your iPad's display to feel more like paper, click the link in the description below. And thank you so much to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. Yes, this Magic Keyboard for your iPad Pro also includes a trackpad. The trackpad is much smaller than I'm used to on Apple's laptops, which are really expansive. So I'm still adjusting to what now feels like a cramped trackpad. The trackpad works like you would expect. You can move the iPad's cursor around the display and go from app to app as the cursor will focus on each app. You can also see as I drag the cursor on Control Center, it automatically changes context and highlights the Control Center bar. You can also see how I drag it across text and it changes as well to a text insertion cursor. Again, I've only spent a small amount of time using the trackpad, but so far it really does make the iPad Pro feel more like a traditional laptop, and you can use two-finger gestures to scroll through websites, or you can also use gestures like a two-finger swipe to switch between the home screen, a three-finger swipe to switch between apps, a three-finger swipe up and hold to see open apps and workspaces, and a three-finger swipe up to go back to the home screen. You can also slam your cursor to the right side to get a view of your open slide over window. Overall, the trackpad is really nice. It works smooth and fluidly, and it works just like you would expect it to if you're used to Mac trackpads. However, there is just one difference from modern Apple trackpads, and that is that this trackpad is actually a physical click rather than the new haptic feedback that Apple uses in their new Magic trackpads. You can still click anywhere, which is great, but I've been noticing that this trackpad is pretty loud. So yes, the trackpad works great for navigating through the iPad's user interface. It also works great for scrolling through websites. And most importantly, it works great for editing documents with really precise text selection. But what I was really curious about is, would it fundamentally change the way I interact with some of the other apps on the iPad Pro? So I wanted to try a couple of different apps on it to see how it changed the experience. For example, I loaded up a game, Civilization 6, and I was able to use the trackpad to select my units and go through the menus. And honestly, this made it feel like I was just playing on my laptop. I also tried goofing around with programs like Affinity Photo, and some parts of the touchpad experience, like scrolling through menus, didn't work, but for selecting pictures and moving other content around and typing with the Magic Keyboard, again, it worked and had a very similar experience of using a laptop. I also tried goofing around very shortly with video editing with a program called LumaFusion, and I was able to drop clips precisely and trim them with the trackpad and also use keyboard shortcuts. And this is really making me dream about a iPad Pro version of Final Cut Pro 10. And listen to me, Jon Prosser, you better be right about Final Cut Pro 10 coming over to the iPad. You can't destroy my dreams. You can't destroy MKHDVD's dreams. And if you're wrong about this, Jon Prosser, I am throwing out my toilet. Mark my words. Okay, so overall first impressions. Now again, I do want to spend more time with this before I do a full review, so maybe you can take these opinions with a bit of a grain of salt, but I gotta say, overall, my experience has been really positive with this Magic Keyboard. I really like the physical typing experience with this scissor switch mechanism, and I also really enjoy having a trackpad that is always connected to the iPad Pro. I think Apple did a good job translating the cursor experience over to a touch-first interface, and it really does transform the way you use your iPad. It makes it much more laptop-like. I also know that a lot of people don't like this accessory because they think it takes away from what the iPad is supposed to be. a tablet. And I have to kind of disagree with that. I always thought the philosophy of the iPad was first and foremost a magical piece of glass that could transform into anything you wanted it to be. And today, with the Magic Keyboard, the iPad can finally transform into a laptop. All right, everyone, but that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully it helped you out. If it did, make sure you leave me a like. If you wanna see more from my channel, make sure you're subscribed. Also, be sure to let me know what you think of the new Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsor for this video, Paperlike, and don't forget to check out some of the links in the description. I will have an affiliate link to purchase this Magic Keyboard, and any affiliate sales will help the channel out. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.